Hi, and welcome to Three Questions with. Got my friend Laura with us from Express Your Wellbeing. Good morning, Laura. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Kevin. How are you today?
Just living the dream. So I asked you to come on the show today because I want to talk about one of my issues with you. So I have lots of them. I'm only going to pick one, Laura. Chuckle, chuckle. But I started running, and my goal was to run 1 mile. And at first I had to walk and run and got there. Then I had a good slash bad day, Laura. It was week 2, first day. I just was in the zone. I ran 3 miles. I felt amazing. The next day, I couldn't even run a half a mile. I felt dejected. Everything we read says to do small increments, but I didn't, and it led me to failure. Do you see that with your clients?
Oh my God, I see that all the time, not just with my clients, even with myself. There's a lot of things I've mastered, right? In terms of my healthy lifestyle habits, but I'm still like learning and growing, right? So I do the same thing, I think it's human nature. I think we just, it's human nature to want to grow and do better. But I think that we often think the way to do it is to beat ourselves up, right, when we fail. But really the best approach, the best motivator, the best self-motivator is actually just to be okay where you're at and just keep moving forward. Like, okay, so I really resonate with that story because it is so true, but every little thing we do, what's really important is that you just keep going, you keep making those small steps, and it's like amazing, like how much progress you'll make. It's like practice makes progress, right? I love that expression versus practice makes perfect, because it's really not about being perfect. It's about progress, right?
I agree. Laura, the other thing I see is I have friends and they do the my favorite jeans test. That's what I call it. They can no longer fit into those favorite jeans that they think they look good in. And they get mad and they get extreme in their diet. Well, I'm not
Mm.
gonna eat any of this stuff anymore. And sometimes, hey, they can fit back into those jeans. But to fit back in those jeans, they're miserable people. They're angry, they're hangry,
Oh my
they're
God,
not happy with
yeah.
life. Doesn't it make sense to try to just find a good balance in your diet rather than going from, okay, and just a randomness of, well, I laugh like Laura, those jeans are 20 years old. Maybe they shrunk a little bit in the washing machine. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
old jeans for cotton, right?
yeah, I mean, like maybe, but that's their whole success in life is their favorite pair of jeans.
I
That may
know.
not be the best measurement, right?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's common though, right? Because I think we all want to feel like we look good, and then I think that they've linked those genes to a time when they've felt good about themselves. So they've made that connection between these genes make me feel good. But it's not the best way. Like, or somebody's like, it can be a motivator, right? Like, oh, I've got some big event coming up, like a reunion or a wedding, and so I want to lose weight for that. And that's okay, but it's not a long-term motivator, right? So because you're focusing on external things, not really internal things, right? You're not focusing on like, okay, well, how am I feeling every day? Like you said, I used to do the same thing when I was younger, because I believe like the only way I could lose weight or maintain my weight was to restrict, right? I used to obsessively weigh myself. So, depending on how the number was trending, I'd either eat a lot this day or I wouldn't eat much, but I was miserable. Same thing. I was hangry. I had, mood swings like crazy. So what I found, and actually I've run even some very small, challenges like or programs, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, and people are so surprised by when they're just really being mindful of their nutritional needs first, not thinking about measuring, counting how much I'm eating, but just like, okay, try to include these kinds of foods and try to balance, like you said, balance out your nutrients first, not be thinking about what you can eat, what you can't, how much better they feel and how easy like the weight comes off. Like they'll usually experience results sometimes, I mean, in 5 days, but then you got to keep the momentum going, right? So that's a whole other challenge. But the point is that it doesn't take a long time to experience change without being hungry, right? With having more stable energy, but then it's really, working on the habit shift. And that's, like you said, you got to make those small steps, but that's more like oh, I can, wow, it's more to make them more mindful of what they're doing and what the reaction is. Yeah. So I use a lot of mindfulness. I think mindfulness is like a huge asset in all areas of your life. Stress, health habits, anyway.
I like that a lot, the mindfulness piece, because I catch myself doing that, where I just have those days where I'm just mindlessly eating. I'm not
Mhm.
really hungry. Usually I'm just bored, or hey, I just finished my video with Laura. Let's go have a snack, celebrate I'm done, or
Yeah.
whatever. But I'm not giving thoughts to, what I'm eating too, where there's days where I'm like, I think I may have just set a world record for M&M consumption today, just mindlessly ate all day and stuff. So it's that mindfulness. What advice do you have for your clients? Like, what's the first step? Like, what's one baby step they can do just to get started?
Hmm. Hmm. If I had to say that the very first step is it's mindfulness, so I really think just being more mindful of what you can do, what you enjoy, right? Like what foods do you enjoy, and more mindful of, meeting your nutritional needs. There are so many small things you can do. And I think mindful, if I have to think about this, mindful morning, having a mindful morning routine, whether it's, you do some kind of a, mindful breathing for a minute each day, you do a mindful, like, uh, journaling, or, and then a mindful meal, especially first meal of the day, because it really does set the think about what you're going to eat in the day. So mindfulness, mindfulness, mindfulness. Find a way to incorporate that into your life and your habits.
I love that a lot because personally, I find that when I had that first healthy meal of the day, it sets me up for the whole day.
Hmm.
I make a bad choice and have something maybe not so great, sometimes it dominoes, like, all right, I had a bad meal and then I have two more after it. So like I said,
Yeah.
that really makes sense of just, taking a moment to reflect on the day even, what are my intentions of the day? So Laura, what's the best way for people to reach out to? How can I learn more?
Yeah, so I have a Facebook group focused on healthy aging, right? Like the small lifestyle habits that will actually help you live longer,
Mhm.
healthier, more vibrant life. So it's called the Anti-Aging Lifestyle, and I'll share the link with you so you can share it with your
Yep.
with
Cool.
your audience. Yeah.
Awesome. Laura, I appreciate you taking a few minutes to come on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
It's my pleasure, Kevin. Thanks for inviting me.
Yep. Bye now.
Okay, thanks. Bye.